And moving to Iran, where over the weekend 2 Supreme Court judges, infamous for delivering controversial judgments against the opponents of the Iranian government, were shot dead. Justices Mohammad, Moghiseh and Razini were killed after a gunman shot at them inside a Tehran courtroom on the 18th of January. Now, a bodyguard of one of the justices was also injured in the attack. According to the state media, the attacker killed himself while fleeing the scene of what they called a premeditated assassination. According to reports, a third judge was also a target, but the assailant was unable to find him in the court. Now, the state media said that the attacker was a 31-year-old janitor who worked at Iran's Palace of Justice building that also houses the Supreme Court premises. The 2 judges were veterans of Iranian judiciary who had for decades headed courts involved in trying protesters and activists. And infamously, Razini served as a judge in one of Iran's death commissions. In 1988, the then Iranian supreme leader issued a decree to order the execution of imprisoned opponents. An unspecified number of 3-member judicial commissions were formed across Iran to prosecute political prisoners. The judicial commissions were often reported as death commissions for the sheer number of death sentences ordered by them. By the end of 1988, some 30,000 political prisoners were executed in Iran. Since 2016, the names of 100 Death Commission members have been revealed. Many still continue to hold senior positions in the Iranian judiciary or government. Now, meanwhile, the judge, Mohammad Moghiseh, had also had his share of controversial judgments against Iranian dissidents, including filmmakers and poets. Judge Mohammad Moghiseh had headed a court that handled the case related to female dress code violations. He also served as a prosecutor in Iran's notorious Evin prison. Moghiseh was sanctioned by the United States in 2019 for overseeing countless unfair trials. And according to the United States, Moghiseh had been notorious for sentencing scores of journalists and internet users for lengthy prison terms. Moghiseh also had pressed questionable charges against members of Iran's Baha'i religious community. So far, not much has come out about what motivated the attacker to kill these judges. But the state media has suggested an Israeli link in the killings. The state media underlined that Iranian judiciary's recent measures to prosecute alleged Israeli agents may have had a role to play in the killings. Meanwhile, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, led the funeral prayers of the killed judges yesterday. The Iranian supreme leader hailed the murdered judges as martyrs and said that the 2 of them did great deeds throughout their lives, which in fact made them deserving of martyrdom. The targeted killing...
They were rewarded with their martyrdom in the way of God at the hands of God's enemies. Those who die as martyrs actually receive a reward from God.
The targeted killing of 2 Supreme Court judges in Iran is unprecedented in many ways, but it has once again thrown the spotlight on the overall disrepute of the Iranian judiciary. Iran's judiciary continues to be seen as an ally of the country's hardline Islamist regime, both theologically and constitutionally, with a long history of sham trials triggered by hardline fatwas. The concern over the security of judges continues to be overshadowed by their lack of credibility.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.